Hi guys, it's day 5.5. So it has been over 8 hours since I mixed up my original starter, that first feeding of 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of the ferment water. So I'm going to do the exact same thing again. 50 grams of the ferment water and then 50 grams, and I measured these ahead of time just to be fast, 50 grams of whole wheat flour. Again, use white if that's what you have. And then mix this up really well so there's no dry spots. So just put our lid right back on, close it up, put it back in our warm spot. 8 to 12 hours, something like that is fine. All right, sorry, Singa's here and rubbing up against the camera, so he's a camera hog. Hey everyone, welcome to day 6 of our sourdough bread tutorial. And so it has been probably about 14 hours now. This is my sourdough starter. So this is 2 feedings, the initial creation, and then 1 additional feeding. That's it. And we have a lot of bubbles and activity here. Um, we're going to do our big feed today. So one of the things to keep in mind is every time you add a feeding, so we did 50 grams of water, 50 grams of flour, we're creating more volume. So as this volume increases, that 50 grams is not going to be enough anymore, because there's more microbes to feed. So sometimes you might see, if you've ever tried to create a starter, that it's starting to get a gray color on top or smell a little like acetone. And those are signs that your starter is starving. And that's why you have to either increase the volume of your feeding or discard. But we're not going to do that right now. We're still in the process of forming our starter. So we're going to just increase the volume today of how much we're going to feed this starter. We're going to feed now 150 grams of ferment water. And I did notice that my Pyrex measuring bowl here does have 150 milliliter. That's about the same as 150 grams. So if you don't have a scale, check to see if your measuring cup has a milligram or gram or milliliter or gram marker, and go up to the 150. Otherwise, it is roughly 2/3 of a cup. 2/3 of a cup of the ferment water. And we're just going to pour that right in. And then, because it's 100% hydration, we're going to do equal weight, not volume, equal weight of flour. And for that, if you don't have a scale, so 150 grams of ferment water, 150 grams of flour. If you don't have a scale, it is roughly 1 1/4 cups of flour. And these are going to go in here. You're going to see now why having a big container is important and something easy to access so we can stir it. So just combine these really well. You don't want any dry flour anywhere. I'm going to take a rubber band and just mark the level roughly of where my starter's at. You could also use a little pen or write on wipe off pen. Place my lid on there. I'll put it back in my warm spot. When this looks like it's doubled, it'll be ready. So we'll check back in a few hours. Like I said, this could be super active. It could just take 4 hours. If it's a little bit slower to ferment, it'll take, maybe 12 hours. So we'll check back in a little bit. So if you have any questions, comment below. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're seeing some activity in your starter, and it's about to get really exciting.